account for the largest share of African air traffic, while regional connectivity is also strengthening. And against that backdrop, Kenyan low-cost carrier Jambo Jet is preparing to return to Entebbe nearly 6 years after suspending its Uganda service. The airline plans daily flights, strengthening links between Uganda and Kenya and giving travelers easier access to destinations, including Nairobi and the Kenyan coast. Ivan Walunyoro now reports.
It has been nearly 6 years since Kenyan-based airline Jambo Jet suspended its operations in Uganda. Now the airline is back, promising a strengthened and connectivity between Uganda and Kenya while improving the travel experience for passengers across the region.
It's a pleasure coming back, being back just from where we left. And for us, it's Chikati, Uganda.
Jambo Jet says it will operate 7 times a week with a particular focus on tourism connectivity.
There's a lot of business in between Uganda and Kenya. There's a lot of family, visiting family and friends. There are also quite a number of touristic destinations like the Kenyan coastal destinations and also in Uganda, whereby we can be able to connect tourists.
The service is expected to link travelers from Uganda to Kenya's coastal destinations, while also improving access to Uganda's major tourism attractions, including its gorilla tourism sites.
Is that connectivity to the market, ensuring that also safe operations. We're also promising affordability, our lowest fare starting from $170.
With the fares starting at about $170, the airline says travelers will now have another option for moving between the two countries. The return comes at a time when the regional tourism operators are seeking easier and more affordable connections to major tourism destinations within East Africa.
And in this regard, we have encouraged Jambo Jet to also contemplate or think about in their strategy to start domestic flights within Uganda. This will spur growth, and like we always say, there's a huge appetite for domestic flights. Jambo Jet, Karibu Uganda, Karibu to the Pearl of Africa.
Uganda's tourism sector says the return of Jambo Jet will strengthen regional connectivity and provide tourists with more options as they travel between Uganda and Kenya.
Next year, AFCON is going to be hosted by Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. So the connectivity, air connectivity for the fans, for the players, for the sponsors, and anybody who wants to just get on an aircraft and travel. For example, if I've never been to Dar es Salaam, where Senegal might be paying Ghana, I want to be in that match. So that's the spontaneity we want to ignite.
The airline joins other carriers operating within the region, including Dalo Air and Aerolink, in an increasingly competitive aviation market aimed at improving connectivity and supporting tourism. For travelers, the return of Jambo Jet could mean more choice, improved connectivity, and easier access to some of the East Africa's most popular tourism destinations. Kamana Ivan Walunyoro, NTV in Entebbe.
Okay, Ivan. Family businesses are being urged to diversify their investments to protect wealth and improve their choices of surviving across generations. At a recent business forum titled Njovu Family Business Discussions, experts in finance, law and strategy said spreading investments across sections and markets can cushion family wealth against downturns and strengthen its financial base for future generations. NTV Business is all on the hub with our reports.
According to research, controlled diversification can help businesses reduce risk while improving returns, with studies finding that firms using a measured diversification strategy recorded lower systematic risk and higher shareholder returns.
You cannot do one thing and do it all the time and remain sustainable. Why? Because there are many things that come into play. we all saw what happened during COVID. When COVID came, it hit many businesses. It hit the schools. It hit the hotels, okay? Now, if you didn't have a diversified business or a diversified source of income, then you are completely finished. And that's what we're trying to mitigate. Diversification helps us in having extra streams of revenue that can help you to remain sustainable. So if you are a business today doing mango juice, there is no harm in you diversifying into coffee, because the issues that may affect the mango business may not affect the coffee business.
You wake up every day to work, to do everything, and then what? So the entrepreneur should answer that question. And then what? If the answer speaks to preservation, to your children, to your legacy, then diversification becomes a simple issue for you.
Experts urge family businesses to diversify into sectors that are key drivers of the economy.
And people look at watches and shoes, but these things that we cut back first when we are hard up. But we never cut back on food. We never cut back on education. We never cut back on health. We never cut back on housing. People will need where to sleep. People will need where to do business. People will need to eat. People will need to be well. They have to go to hospital. Those are things that really, for me, for our lifetime, should be places that you can look at and see where you have the strength to get in.
60% of enterprises in Uganda are family businesses. Rona Nahabwe, NTV Business.
Thank you, Rona. The Uganda shilling strengthened today modestly, supported by muted dollar demand, as you see on your screen, and sustained remittance and commodity inflows. Money markets were liquid. That means there was money in there, and also improved with the Bank of Uganda mopping in excess money or liquidity through the Bank of Uganda bills and 7-day repurchase agreements. On the other hand, the equities market extended its gains with the all-share index going up 0.15% to 2,292 points, and the local companies index closing at 586 points. Trading activity was dominated by Umeme, MTN Uganda, and Stanbic, which accounted for much of the day's 78.8 million shillings in turnover across 38 deals. In the global markets, oil prices climbed to more than 3 weeks highs, driven by concerns that the impasse in the Iran war will continue to disrupt supply from the key Middle East producing regions. And in the metals market, gold prices fell on as traders took profits from previous sessions, gains, and focused on the risk of higher inflation, underlined by a rise in oil prices. Thank you for watching. We could have done more, but in the interest of time, that's all. You can catch the replay of all the stories here on NTV Tonight on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. NTV's Betty Mudondo coming up with the very latest from the world of sports.
Entrance there and their exit there. What is it?
So where is the building? Fast, stress-free construction. Get your factory-made buildings in 12 weeks with SafBuild. Order yours now. SafBuild, a quality building solution from Uganda Bati.
You need a bigger space to grow your business. You need more equipment to meet demand.
You need to make sure everyone gets paid on time.
In business, you need advice, solutions, and sector expertise when it matters.
Your new office space looks great. What's next?
We get it. Absa Business Banking.
Welcome to NTV Sport. We start with basketball. Namungo Blazers produced a commanding 82-64 points victory over the City Oilers in Game 6 of the National Basketball League Playoffs final to force the encounter into the decisive Game 7. With the series tied at 3-3, the two sides will meet on Saturday to decide the 2026 champion.
Defending champions Namungo Blazers put in their best display of the series at the perfect time, brushing aside record champion City Oilers 82-64, a feat that denied the Oilers a chance to clinch their 11th NBL crown last night. The Blazers controlled proceedings from the start, building a commanding 45-29 advantage at halftime. Despite the third quarter ending 19-19, the Oilers failed to make any real dent in the final quarter as the game ended 82-64. In favor of the Blazers. Namungo Blazers head coach Steven Nyeko explains what helped his side level the series to 3-3 last night.
We had more of ball touches. We shared the ball more. We looked out for each other more, and then we stuck to our game plan. That is it. The other games were getting off script a bit, and then were being punished.
Nyeko also credits his players, whom he says have risen to the occasion throughout the series, especially after losing Game 3 and 5.
That's why throughout the whole season, you would hardly see a consistent player. It's always either Nyembo, today Tony, tomorrow Jimmy, Oxy, and that's why because we don't want to be predictable. So big ups to Obleng yesterday, Henry for showing up because Jimmy's shots weren't dropping, Tony's shots were dropping.
Despite ending the Oilers' dominance last season on their route to a first league title, Nyeko says they're not underestimating them, noting that defending a title is never an easy task.
Actually, we ended their reign, but defending a championship is the hardest. It's the hardest. So having that all in mind, we had to come knowing it's going to be tough. So that's why I say that it would be selfish for me to think that we're going to sweep and no.
The Namungo Blazers now shift their focus to preparing for Game 7 on Saturday and look forward to playing at the Hoima Stadium.
Of course, short notice is tough, but it's relevant in the sense that Hoima Stadium is there for us, and we must use it. If the government sees us not using it, then they can't give it to us. We have so many tournaments that are coming around that need Hoima.
Meanwhile, in the women's finals, UCU drew first blood in Game 1 with a 50-35 victory over the Jaguars. Noah Walakira, NTV Sport.
And in motorsport, seasoned driver Umar Dauda continues to chase his dream of winning the National Rally Championship, despite failing on many occasions during his 12-year career. Dauda, who on 2 occasions finished on the podium in the Fort Portal Rally, believes he has now come of age to contest for the championship, thanks to the recently acquired sponsorship by Sting Energy Drink.
Omar Dauda is one of the regular drivers on the national rally scene. The 12-year rally veteran has registered 2 Fort Portal rally wins as his best podium finishes. But he's still going strong and hopes to win the National Rally Championship in the future.
Won Fort Portal event 2 times consecutively, 2022 and 2023. I know I can be there. I can put up a good show with them. However much they're having more competitive cars compared to the one I'm running at the moment, the Evo 10. Because for them at the moment they're running the Protos, they're having more advantage.
Rallying is a sport that relies heavily on the driver's skill, not just the machine. Dauda believes he has a unique edge that allows him to compete with the very best, noting that a driver must be both aggressive and cautious on the track.
As a person, I enjoy when it comes to corners because straight line driving, each and everyone can push. But that's where the skill comes in. There are moments where you have to be a bit aggressive, but still with caution. Because if you just go anyhow, at the end of the day, you'll crash into trees.
Yesterday evening, he entered into a partnership with energy drink brand Sting to boost his title prospects.
It's a boost. Since motorsport, of course, we are running with boost and Sting is there to boost us more. I will say we are eyeing the NRC championship. However, this time round, this season, we are running 5th at the moment. After the mishaps we had in the previous events, we did good DNFs 2 times, and it was a setback for us. But with Sting on board, we are eyeing for the NRC championship. Hopefully.
Felix Manyindo, NTV Sport.
Now let's talk boxing because a group of former national team boxers led by Olympian Sam Rukundo have composed themselves into a task force to revive the glory of the sport in the country. The group accused the current leadership of the boxing in the country of failure to put in place a conducive environment to support performance by the national team on the international scene. This after Uganda failed to win a medal from the recently finished Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland, despite sending a strong squad of 6 pugilists. 4 of the 6 members of the team did not return to Kampala after the Games.
According to our constitution, which was amended in 2013 and approved by AIBA, we as the clubs, we have our rights, express our rights according to our constitution, that we can hold an extraordinary meeting. So that is why they elected the committee, which I'm heading as the chairman. So everything we do is within our constitution. We wrote to the National Council of Sports, and they know everything which took place at the moment. So we are going to reclaim our key from them, and we can start working in our office, which is located at Lugogo.
Hello, being representative from the northern region, it is painful to say that we have been sidelined for so long. We have good boxers, but they don't go through selective processes. I've put an example, like this Champions League, it is coming. My boxers, 2 of them were supposed to they had the fight on the 31st, but they were never called. They didn't receive the invitation. When I came to Kampala, just to learn that Champions League already been, the fights are over. So it's one of the reasons that I say that please have hope in this new regime that is coming.
We've come to the end of our news bulletin tonight. Thanks for watching. I'm Betty Modondo, together with Susan Mujawa and Nanda on sign language. Have a blessed evening.